Hey, folks, welcome back to Money and Politics Now, and it is Veterans Day, November 11th, 2021. Hope you are having a good day. Some of you are going to have the day off, and if so, I hope you've been enjoying your day off. I wanted to do a video here, and I got a little tied up. I meant to bring it to you earlier, bring a video for my reaction to Brian Foote's earnings call and give you some of my thoughts. I already did a half an hour show on the earnings, so I might be a little repetitive, but I wanted to react to some of what Brian said. And first of all, I would say that in my estimation, Brian Foote's one of the really good CEOs. I think he really has his heart in the right place. And he has really put himself out there. He said as much himself because I think he's sensitive to the criticism, which is both good and bad. It's good in the sense that he's A, paying attention, and B, responds to it, which he should. Bad because I think so much of the criticism of Brian Foote is really misplaced. And you know, if I thought the guy was not doing things right, I'd be happy to criticize him. No one's going to do things perfectly, but I have a lot of admiration for Brian. I don't have many real criticism. One thing I would say to Brian and the team out in San Diego, and this is what we do in newsrooms, of course, why don't you put 3 clocks up on the wall? Where you have East Coast, New York, Central Time Zone, you can say St. Louis or Chicago, and then LA time. Because I think you guys are out there working on the West Coast, and you might be forgetting that it's a lot later on the East Coast and the Central Time Zone. Obviously, you know that, the time differences, but out of sight, out of mind. So there's my one thing. By the way, I'm just wearing this jacket because it's a little chilly in the house. I just got this jacket. I also wanted to put it on and try it, and I'm feeling warmer, and so that's it. So since I normally have a sweater on, I'm just wearing this jacket tonight. It's a new jacket for me. But let's listen to something that Brian said, responding to his own record. And we'll take a listen. This runs about a minute where he's kind of going over and defending himself, but I think he's got a good record and it's worth defending.
In terms of CEO scorecards, I just want to, again, there's a little bit of chatter right now around the Bs, and I want to be really clear on this. I welcome you to put up any other CEO in the stock market against this scorecard. Go for it. It's not going to happen. So shares sold, 0, salary, $1, common shares retired, 551 million pre-split. That means they're gone, okay, from the float, gone. At my expense. So you can do the math. Common shares converted from float to preferred, 318 million plus. Okay. And then I've offered to and will do, and I'll put this on a blockchain registry, lock up those preferred B shares that I own through the end of 2022. Through the end of 22. So eliminate those from any mathematical dilution equation that you are doing through the end of 2022 from my end. So go ahead and do that. And then in terms of stock performance, there you have it in terms of how we're doing at the helm so far as a CEO.
So I think that goes without saying what he's doing and the record that he's been doing. I think he's done everything he can to try to respond to the criticisms that have been leveled at him. And again, that's the kind of guy that you want to have. Let me make a couple of notes that I took relative to the blocks ETXs. He goes, we want to get those into the mobile app. And by the way, folks, of course, you can listen to the same video that I'm listening to, and I would encourage you to listen to it again more than once because we all miss things the first time through. I'm just sorry. One thing that surprised, I was trying to read my handwriting here. One thing that I didn't know or I didn't think about, we got Monster Studios, and they're going to be working on NFTs. One thing I hadn't thought about is that they're still doing, which is interesting, the trailers for Hollywood movies. In other words, they were doing what they were doing before they were purchased by Humbl. So that's another source of income that hadn't even occurred to me. I guess it should have, it just didn't. I was thinking that they were just going to be focusing on NFTs. Brian's going to South America coming up in a couple of weeks. He's going to continue to be looking for the purchase of another ticket company. He did say that a number of times before. He said that in Nashville to us. He doesn't want to pay just anything. One of the things that he also brought up at about 8 minutes and 46 seconds into the video, that Humbl is not going to be using as much stock in purchases and all going in 2022. That is one criticism that I have had or concern about Brian, is that was he, in some of these deals, I kind of question, did you have to use as much stock as you used to compensate some of the people? I don't want to get into specific deals, but that's as a general observation. It just seemed to me that sometimes we were overpaying for some of the services and all that we were going after relative to the amount of stock that was being handed out. So I'm glad to say he's going to be tightening the belt on that. They want to get more into the go for more into the tokenization of assets, which again we've talked about all this before, but I do think that's good that he brought that up, and it shows again that that's somewhat of a top priority for him. And he goes, we know we have to nail the mobile app, and we're on it. And he said that later. So he also said, of course, I think they're putting 50% of every dollar into tech. So it's not like they're ignoring the mobile app. It's a mobile app company. Where he recapped specifically the third quarter. Let's take a listen on that.
Humbl delivered his first quarter with over $1 million in revenue, 1.2 million approximately, to be more accurate. And then we rolled in Tickery and Monster Creative. So one of the benchmarks of being a successful early stage, high risk startup like Humbl is how well do you roll in your subsidiaries that you've acquired. So I think we are doing a good job there so far, and that's a testament to the teams that joined us more than anything. I kind of stay out of their hair as best I can, but we want to maximize that as we learn more about each other. Ticketing continues to grow. I want to be really clear that gross ticket sales are different than bottom line revenues. I think for us, if we want to hit the stretch goals that I've set for our team for next year, we probably need to make a move on acquiring an additional ticketing business, and we will continue to be on the hunt to do that.
So the first quarter with over $1 million in revenue, with about $1.2 million in revenue, and in ticket sales, they had the $6,876,843 in ticket sales through Tickery, with a profit on that of $490,000. And according to my math, that's a profit margin of 7.12%. So, look, I think, as I say, I would go through. By the way, he also said some of the hold up on this mobile thing, and he points out that some of these other people who have come to the market with their own version of direct pay through a mobile app have paid over, some, depend upon some of the companies, they've been paid over $1 billion in fines, and we don't want Humbl to be doing that. So he's, the regulatory environment is something that he's very concerned about addressing, which is also something which is good. I'd rather have him do that than to have the company spending their money on fines to the government. So, in conclusion, what I would say, as we look at where we are at the end of the very first year, now The one thing I would say, obviously, when he says, as he did, that the price of the stock is up some, very high amount, technically that's true, although I'm sure that Brian's also aware that we want to get the price up a lot more than where it is now. In the 61 cent range is where we ended up today. Let's call it 62 cents, 61.99. Well, and where we are now, I think, as I said in a tweet yesterday, that first year when you start up, you've got to do everything. You have no foundation, and now we've got a foundation laid, and he's going to build on that foundation. But that first year is really a tough year because of that, laying the foundation. It's not to say that it's just smooth sailing, but as you enter year two, those projects which you didn't complete in year one, you've already, got a portion of that done. And that's certainly true with the app. We know that's true, and they just did the beta, and now they're going to be polishing it off. So in the broad scope of things, as we look to 2022, again, I'm measuring the achievements of Humbl in terms of what they've gotten done. I think they've gotten a hell of a lot done in year one. I'm looking to them to build on that in year two. And I think we will, in all likelihood, come to the end of 2022 with probably having another ticket company in the fold. I can't say that for sure, but I do know that, as from him saying it both on tape, and he said it to me directly in Nashville, that he's looking for another ticketing company. As he said, we're not going to probably meet our goals on ticket sales that we want unless we acquire another ticketing company. And I think he's also looking here in North America. But who knows? We might be able to have more than one more. Right now we got Tickery. We might, who knows, have two or three of them before 2022 is out. My speculation, not Brian. So that's what we have to look forward to. We're going to be looking forward to the NFTs expansion. We're going to be looking forward to these growing revenues in the fourth quarter and then the first quarter and beyond. And so, folks, we have a real company here. And as so many of the years when I started talking about Humbl back in January of this year, 2021, it was going up through, at least July, if not August, where it was pretty much talking about a speculation of what is going to come. Remember back, those of you who are the longtime investors here, and no one's a longtime investor, I suppose, but where we were looking forward to March, where we were going to get our own stock symbol. I mean, we're part of the investors that started off with TSNP. And then it was TSNPD, and so here we are. We got HMBL, Humbl, and we got the Tickery, and we got Monster, and we've got all the rest that they've achieved, and we're moving forward. So I am, while I would be much happier with a higher stock price, that's going to come. I think that's going to come. But I am happy with the developments that we've had during the first year and all that they've been able to put together. I'm happy to have met Brian. I'm happy that he does these videos as he does. I don't, I mean, other people do investment calls, but I'm happy the accessibility that he and his team have had, and again, that all that they've achieved. So I hope you invest the way that's good for you. I can't tell you, as I say, what to do because I don't know your finances, but I'm going to be looking forward. As I said yesterday, I acquired more shares, and I'll probably be buying more as we go along, especially, at these prices. But do what's right for you and your family, and make sure that the money you're putting in is money that you can afford to hold on to, because not only are we going to come to the end of 2022, I suspect, certainly on a percentage basis, I suspect we'll have a stock price that's a lot higher. But down the road, I hope that you can hold on to your investments here for a 3 to 5 year period, if not longer. And here and there, if you want to take some money off the table, if you get a spike up and you want to sell some, fine. If it goes down, then, buy them back if you want. That's what I think I just wanted to suggest to you, okay? Don't feel that you have to go in and buy one big lump of shares. You can buy them in bits and pieces. And I would suggest you do that just to keep it, good for you and your family's monetary stability. Anyway, folks, with that said, I'll let you go. I'll probably do a video on Friday, and whatever your weekend plans are, I hope you have a safe weekend. Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.